So one of the other innovations that the Martin Guitar Company created, somewhere late 1840s, right around 1850, we did create what is known as the X-brace. It's a bracing system for an acoustic guitar. Seems to be somewhat self-explanatory, somewhat of a simple design, but up until the 1840s to 1850, acoustic guitars were braced a number of different ways. Fan braced, which typically would be on a classical or a nylon string guitar, parallel braced, or any different combinations or forms of any of those. Again, it was right about 1850 that we finalized this shape that you see today, and we've been using it ever since. This happens to be a non-scalloped X brace, and showing you what a scalloped braced guitar would look like, I think would make a whole lot more sense to let you know compared to a non-scallop. Essentially, below the intersection of the two cross braces, there's a scooping, almost like a scalloping, or a mass taken away from the lower half of the brace, or of the top. And essentially what a scallop brace top will do versus a non-scallop top brace, a scallop brace top will move more. It will vibrate more, give you a little bit more bass response, also give you a little bit more overall volume compared to the non-scalloped X brace, more of a balanced tone. Some of our famous models that would incorporate the non-scalloped X would be the D28, the D35, D18 would utilize a non-scalloped X. Now the scalloped X is typically more of a design of the older Martins. Our current models that incorporate this type of a bracing might be the Golden Era series, or the Vintage series, or an HD28, for instance. HD28 would incorporate the scallop brace top versus the D28, which would be the non-scalloped. Both a very good system. Just really is personal preference. If you happen to like a more balanced tone where the highs and the mids and the the bass are sort of within a closer range, you might gravitate towards a non-scalloped X brace. A lot of bluegrass, the bluegrass community loves the tone and the volume and the bass response of old Martin guitars. So you might, as a bluegrasser or someone who prefers a louder, bassier tone, might want to think about a scalloped X brace top. So again, we've been using this system, this bracing system, since 1850, and it really is the best way that we've found to brace a top that really lets the tone come out of an instrument. Because again, what you're trying to do, you're always walking that fine line where you want to brace a top, you want to brace it so it's secure enough to be able to withstand anywhere from 150 to 180 pounds of pressure when you put 6 strings on the guitar. However, you don't want to brace it too heavily that it's going to detract from the tone. So it's always that tight wire act that we walk, where we want to brace it and finish the guitar just enough to hold it together, but not enough so it detracts from the tone. So.